Hey everybody, Chiron here, and welcome back to another episode of Banished. Last time we had a little bit of a food crisis, but I think we are going to be able to pull out of it without any issues. So if we take a look at our Colonial Hall, go to production, we have produced 8,000, used 11,000. So we're pretty close. It's early in the season. It looks like everything is pretty much almost ready to be harvested. So these are getting harvested already, and these are in the 90s. So I think once we get that, we're going to be in good shape. But one thing I want to do anyway is get some of these set up. So we have a title pool, we have a hunting blind, we don't have them placed anywhere. I also want to open up a fishery. There's two different kinds of fisheries, actually. Let me unpause the game first. So we have a fishing dock, which is the original vanilla dock, and then we also have, what was it, the Quay buildings right here. So we have the Quay fishery. I'm not exactly sure if there's any kind of a difference in them in like their production or yield or anything like that, but we can give them a try. So I'm not a big fan of fishing in this game. I think it doesn't give you a whole lot of yields from what I've seen, but like each person only produces about 20 extra food, which I don't think is all that phenomenal. But I've been wrong in the past, so we will take a look. Now, when it comes to fisheries, the amount of water that they're surrounded by affects their production. So why don't we put one up here? We'll put the Quay fishery up here, and then we'll put the regular fishing dock. We'll put that down here. Where would be a good spot for this? Right here would be good, but unfortunately it's not possible. Well, I guess we'll do it right here. And we'll increase our builders a little bit. We have a lot of stuff that we need to build. So this needs to get built ASAP, and then all these tents and things. So we're up to 9,000 food. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Alright, so let's see what else we need to build here. So I'm actually going to make this area right here into a forest hub, kind of like I have over here. And then I'm going to free up all of this space, which we desperately need. So we have a tidal pool. Gets oysters, mussels, crayfish, crawfish, crawdads, depending on your dialect. And where can we put this? I think right there is a pretty good spot. And we can't. Why can't we? Alright, so it's possible there, but then if I move down, it becomes not possible. Sometimes the mechanics in this game annoy me. There we go. Do it right there. Alright, and we have the hunting blind. Disguise hunters so they can catch ducks and other animals. Holy cow, this is a little building. Well, I guess we'll put it right back here. We'll give these people a chance to just kind of stepping out their back window, going to the hunting blind, seeing the ducks, doing a little hunting if they want to. Alright, and I think we have, we checked last time, we have a bunch of reeds. Oops, I mean quantity. I'm like, do I not know my alphabet anymore? Alright, so yeah, we have plenty of reeds. Alright, back up to 11,000 food, and looks like that's climbing. Let's take a look at the season production. So used 27,000, produced 35,000. Yeah, so we're in much better shape now. Alrighty. So back to this area. So a couple other things that I wanted to add in are, let's see if I can find everything. Spiritual. Alright, so I wanted to make a little bit of a cemetery here as kind of a tribute to the people who have like given their lives for the fort and things like that, and officers and other things like that. And then up here we can put our actual cemetery for kind of everybody else. What was it? So we're starting right there. Can I not? Oh, there it is. Alright. So there's no way that we can distinguish these two, but we'll secretly know that this is for officers and, you know, people of the fort, and then this is for the townspeople. Alright. Any of our buildings finished? Does not look like it. Alright. Any other food production buildings we missed? We have all that. Wharf and ship we have. Dairy oil press. Ooh, yeah, we need to do... Here's the bakery. Did I not put in a windmill? Interesting. Okay. I guess that's fine. So we'll need to decide if we want to do a large windmill, small windmill, or a water mill. It's not edible. And I don't think there's a big difference among these. I think the water mill just takes up kind of less real estate. Alright. So I got the water mill in place. Oh, and it doesn't use rope or anything like that. 100 wood. Yeah. It uses about the same materials regardless. Iron production is low. How's our miner situation doing? You could bump them back up. During our big death cycle, we lost a lot of our miners. How's this one doing? 4? Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty then. Let's take a look. So then we need to do some more officer townhouses. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we need to leave 2 spaces of room up here for that tower that we had earlier. And then what do I have here? I have Stone Road. Cross, bring that down. And then what I'm going to do is put a little road in here and make just a little bit of an area here. And we can put in a couple of decorative items. So right here. So we can put in a nice little pond, and I want to put in a fireplace. And then there was I thought there was like a bundle of wood or something that you could use. Rocks, crate, bench. I guess I could do a bench. Alright, put a couple of benches in there. Ah, there it is. Log decorations. Log decoration, rocks, and not really anything else. Alright, so why don't we do this one, and then we'll do that. So we'll have a little wood chopper and then a pile of wood there. And remove that. So it'll just be kind of like a little recreation area for all the officers and people that live in the fort. Alrighty then. And what else do we have for the fort? Musket range. I think what we might do is put the musket range here. So then people coming to the parade ground and camping out, they can kind of go to the musket range if they want to try target practice or something like that. And then when there's not a parade, the people in the fort can use it for practice. How are we doing over here? 27%. So that's back up and running. That's good. Change this back to coal. Good, 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 good. All right. Alrighty. So let's let them build kind of those houses and things like that while we take a look at our forest hub over here. So how do we want to do this? I kind of like this, where we have the hardwood forester down here and then the regular forester here. Let's see what we can fit in here. Alright, that fits pretty well. And then we need that. That fits in pretty well. And we need a forester. And that fits pretty well. Okay, I think we can just kind of repurpose this guy here. So let's do a gatherer. There. Do a forest lodge here. And then we need an herbalist. Where's the herbalist? There it is. And the herbalist goes here. So then everything kind of lines up in a block. If you put the herbalist next to the gathering hut and then the forest lodge next to the hunting cabin, all the blocks line up. Which, if you know me, then you know that's what I like. Alright. Perfect. And then we can get rid of this herbalist. And this hunting lodge. And then that we'll wait on this one, but then we can free up some space up here that we can put in some other buildings. All right. So let's move this. So we need to free up some more space here for some more food production. Looks like there's a road there. And then we'll demolish this. All right. So how we doing? All right. Cemeteries are finished. Our town, or our fort, is getting there. Not quite all of the resources. These still need some time. So we'll give them a little bit. What else can we do here? So done. Oh, right. Did these build? These did build. All right. So we have our tidal pool. We have our fishery. I'm not sure why that starts out as 1. We'll bump that up to 4. This one we built last episode, so our forward post. It does muskets, full livery, and military supplies. Produces random assorted gilder, hull components, furnishing kit, fancy furniture. Interesting. Car's full livery, though. So we'll have to get our uniforms up and running. Where is it? Here it is. So full livery is silk and linen, neither of which we have. All right, so let's go ahead and get those in place. So we need a weaver. We need 2 weavers, actually. Let's see where we can put these. So here is our weaver. I guess we could just line up all of our weavers next to each other. So we can produce cotton, silk, and then linen. We do need flax, though. Do we have flax? Go away. Trade items. We do have flax. Not seeing it in here, though, so we must not have an actual field for it. So, how is our rope situation? Rope. 300 rope. And 7,000 hemp. Yeah, we can turn one of these into flax. Do we have any others growing hemp? Wheat. Those are all wheat. Why don't we... Yeah, that should be good. I don't think we need a whole lot of flax. This one cotton field has been supplying us with all of our cloth, so... Pretty low on logs. Just increase our building speed a little bit. Alright, so the water mill, we have plenty of wheat. I think that's going to be our biggest item here. 1,700 as opposed to corn, which we don't really... I don't think we have a whole lot of fields for that, so... Alright, what else do we build? So that one's still under production. We'll take a look at the koi fishery, and then we'll take a look at... What do you do? Crayfish, mussels, seaweed. Seaweed. Not sure what seaweed is, if it's edible or not. Then pearl. And oyster. Not sure what you would do with pearl either. Maybe like the statue carver? Alright, our duck blind. See how that does. So these are doing 1,200, which I think is max for those. I don't think you can get any higher than 1,200. That's why they're even numbers, because it's just straight up capped out. Okay. And then here's our fishing dock when it eventually finishes. Alright, so our... Ooh. Sugar. We're out of fuel. So we'll stop production on this for now. Just let them build up some fuel supplies. Oh, we don't have any logs. That's why. So, we don't have any logs, so they weren't producing charcoal. And then all of our fire bundles were being used for furnace fuel. I might trade that out then. So we'll do... Oh no. Charcoal was being used here. So where are our fire bundles being used? Is it just being used for fueling homes? That seems weird. Interesting. How much are these? Oh, we're out of tools. How did that happen so quickly? Iron tools, steel tools. I guess we did run out of iron while this mine was down. 73, 76. Alright, we'll dismiss you. Hopefully you'll come back with tools. Alright, 78. We'll change this to iron tools so that we don't use up our coal. Actually, we have a lot of coal, so we're good. Steel tools. We'll change you to iron. Do we have forester lodges? I think are maxed out. So foresters, one more. And then can we get any cheap and reliable hardwood forester? Yeah, these are all hardwood, so I don't think we can use those as like actual logs. Let's clear this area out if we can. And then we don't have any kind of a bridge there, and I don't think it's going to let me build a bridge. Oh, it will. Good. We'll prioritize that. Went on kind of a building spree, and didn't have enough logs, so we'll just have to fix that up. Alrighty. Food's good though. Looks like our fuel is going back up. We don't have any freezing households now, so good to go. All right. Let's see. So this one does fenning and hardtack. So we'll have to produce hardtack. We get random steel tools, firewood, pea coats, furnace fuel, and charcoal. Interesting. Yep, those are pointed the right way. Don't want them shooting towards the parade ground. That would be bad. Alright, 82. So we've got good production going on. We just need to keep up with demand. Alright, what was I doing? So hardtack, bakery. So we are producing hardtack, so we're using flour from here, which it is producing, so we're good there. So we're getting hardtack, and then it needed fenning. We might have to actually put in another governor's office so we can get some more fenning intake. Let's see, 1,200. We may actually need to put that back in. Let's do that. Why not? Hey, where can I put it though? I think I used up. Does this have a radius on it? It doesn't look like it. So we'll put it right there. Right exactly where it was before. Alright. What are we doing on storage? Storage is not looking too great. So we'll have to upgrade some of these storage barns. It's 38 and 46. It's killed by a cave-in. Let's go ahead and just mine out, or chop down all the lumber that we can. I don't think you can get that. That we can take though. Boom, boom. And that should do it. Come on. There it goes. Alright. Freezing again. Why are you guys freezing? Ay, ay, ay. It's so hard to keep people alive. I guess we could probably put in another bundling shed. Where was that? Here it is. Bundling shed. Where's the hitbox on it? There it is. Alright, food production is pretty good again. I think really the one thing that made the difference was the pickup option. We have enough laborers that they actually do get picked up in a timely manner. If you don't have any laborers, you only have like 2 laborers, they can sit out in the field and some of your people can starve until they actually get it to the barns and the markets and stuff like that. So got to be a little bit careful that you don't abuse that option. Food, no. Alright, how are we doing here? So these are up and running. We have a linen and we have a silk. Go ahead and get those producing. And then we will get this producing. Oh, that's where all my tools are going. We're going to have that one not work. That's why. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. All right. Hopefully, after that change, our tools will go up. Fishing dock still not completed. All right. How's our hunting blind going? Produced 2 hardwood. Okay. Dude, I think you're supposed to catch ducks, not logs. But I'll give you a free pass for now. Alright, looks like we got a couple of people dying of old age here too. But we got a pretty good supply of laborers. Alright. So fort's filling out a little bit more. I think should have room for the townhouses in here. So we just need to fill in townhouses here once we get our supplies up a little bit. And then there's going to be 2 rows here. So a row here and then a row facing. And then I think this area is actually just blank space. I'm not sure what we can put in there. Maybe we can put in some utility stuff like a bundling shed and just kind of give them the ability to kind of produce their own goods in case there's a raid or something they can kind of hold up here. Actually, that might actually be kind of cool. So if I replace these 2 decorative items with an actual chopper, I think I like that. I'm going to do that. Log decoration. Converts to non-road conforming will also allow for the structure to be removed in the usual way. Oh. Interesting. Alrighty then. Tools. So we were at 88, we're at 84, 83, 82. So it looks like we are on a positive gain here. How are these doing? So Forster's Lodge, Herbalist. We can take this Herbalist out. And then that starts working. Good. Bundling Shed. There are 2 people working there. Yeah, we might as well just max it out. Not sure why they're grouping up like that, where 2 are working at one place and 0 at the other, but oh well. Alright. Wow, we really need fuel, so that was probably a good call. We do... Let's see, where is our charcoal production? There it is. We'll do an extra one here. That should keep us going. So a couple crises in the last couple of episodes, but nothing we can't handle. Like we have an excess supply of laborers. If we were like out of laborers, if there was a big death cycle or we had everything kind of occupied, I don't think we would have been able to pull out of it so easily. So, and for anybody that has a work camp, just be very careful that you don't run out of tools. That's a pretty important resource. So, alright, well, I think I'm going to end it out there. Next time we can, hopefully once we get all of our materials back up, stored fuel is the big one that we need to really build, and we need to have logs available for that. But once we get enough fuel built up, we'll start building a little bit more, start filling out all our fort, and we can kind of work on this area and getting this all prettied up. Now that we have our forest hub right here, kind of at max production, we should be good to go from here. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and see you next time.